Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another session brought to you by Accent Nominees. Your host for today is Tomi Ogunleye, and the topic I'll be discussing is your business and the Nigerian Data Protection Act 2023. So, collecting data and analyzing data is one key strategy business owners take advantage of. Most times you see someone's page, you like a particular offer or a freebie, and then you click thinking you get the offer straight up, and then the next thing they're asking you to submit your data, your information, and then below the submission you're saying give consent to send other emails regarding the freebies, regarding new arrivals or new products we might have. That is collecting and analyzing of customers' data, and that's one strategy business owners use. So on June 12, 2023, the Nigerian Data Protection Act was signed into law by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So the act provides a legal framework, and it also established a body that would regulate that law. Some of the objectives of the act are the act is to protect the rights guaranteed in the 1999 Constitution, and also one of the objectives of this act, it is to protect data processing practices that safeguard the security of personal data and privacy of data subjects, which is us. It also ensures that personal data is being processed in a fair and legal and accountable manner. When there is no law in place, then data collected could be used for any other unlawful means or illegal purposes that will be incompatible for the reasons they were collected. To ensure, and it also protect our rights and provide remedies in a situation whereby these rights were breached. One of the other objectives the Nigerian Data Protection Act provides is that it ensures that data controllers, data processors, it makes sure they fulfill their obligations to data subjects, to ensure that people in charge of data, whether controllers or processors, they fulfill their obligations. They don't go outside the obligations required of them. So the other objective is it established an impartial and independent effective regulatory commission. That is a body that will regulate the law that was passed in June 12, 2023. The Nigerian Data Protection Act is a significant law for business operating in Nigeria. That is the reason why we're talking about the Nigerian Data Protection Act today. So the act applies to processing of personal data, whether automated or not. Even it also applies to controllers, whether they are domiciled in Nigeria or outside Nigeria. As long as they process data of Nigerian citizens, then the law applies to them. So whether they are domiciled in Nigeria or outside Nigeria, but it will apply to them as long as they process data or the control data of Nigerian citizens, which is the data subject. A data controller, you might ask, is who? So a data controller is a person, a company, or other body that determines the purpose or the means of which a personal data is being processed. It could be a company, it could be a person, it could, this can be determined alone, jointly, whether as a person, as a body, or as a company. So according to section 24 of the Nigerian Data Protection Act 2023, a data controller, which could be you, because imagine you are the business owner, you are collecting your clients' information just to offer freebie. There's no problem in collecting clients' details. Most times, if you've been watching our previous session, you would know that there was a time I spoke about it. That's one of the means where you can reach your customer. They drop their number, drop their email address. So when you have a freebie, feel free to send them a message or a mail. But then going against the Nigerian Data Protection Act would be unlawful, and then they could sue you for that. So a data controller, which could be you, must ensure that personal data is being processed in a fair, lawful, and transparent manner. So you don't give out your client's information to other people without their consent. Most times, someone will tell you that I need list of contacts. The WhatsApp one I have, they are not buying things again, or the email contact list I have, and then because of course she's your friend, you want to volunteer that contact you've collected, you want to transfer to the other person. Most times we notice that we get calls from different people. So I'm so sorry to disturb you, so and so and so and so. In fact, I can't remember who you gave your contact to, just that these companies or bodies keep calling you. Do not do that. So if you're a data controller, a processor, you have to process these data fairly, lawful, and in a transparent manner. So the other things that it is that you need to fulfill is that any data collected for a specified and legitimate purpose should not be processed outside of that. It must be compatible with the purpose which you collected it for. So a data controller and a processor must ensure he uses appropriate technical and organization measures to ensure confidentiality. If you are getting their details, there has to be confidentiality, integrity, and you must make sure that everything in your capacity, you try to safeguard their details. It must not get missing. You must not give it out to another person without their consent. Even you can't send mails to them or send things to them without their consent. And then I want to say something. In the beginning, they give you their consent. Along the way, they can tell you they are no longer interested. They are free to withdraw their consent. And then if your client or person wants to collect maybe data from or contact from is like an underage or a minor, then you need to seek the consent of his or her legal guardian or parents. The Nigerian Data Protection Act will not apply when it comes to processing personal data, especially when it's carried out for personal or household purposes, provided you use it fairly. That's one of the reasons why the Nigerian Data Protection Act was put in place, to restore the confidence back in with the citizens or your customers, because you can't be a business owner and distributing your client's information or data. It has to be confidential and then used for the manner you said you were going to use it for. As an entrepreneur, you have to understand the key importance of the Nigerian Data Protection Act, and it is put in place for very crucial reasons, and I'll be discussing some of the reasons. So one of the reasons is that data privacy. So the Act ensures that protection of individuals' personal data it defines the right, which is our right. It defines the right. It established, how will I put it, data protection principles. It means the principles on how to go about it. Then, if your personal data was being, maybe your right to personal data was being breached, then of course you can sue. There are remedies, is also state remedies. Penalties. The Act also states penalties. So compliance with the Act will help your business to maintain confidentiality, privacy of your customers' information, and it will also strengthen your customers' trust and confidence in you. Because when customers already trust that I trust Madam B, she would not give out my personal details. I trust. Now let me make one example. Most times you go to bank and you want a particular customer's information. Of course, you are also a customer. That person is also a customer, but they cannot, because they want to please you and then breach the Data Protection Act. There's a how will I put it? There's a confidentiality that is in place that we have this person's information, we can't give it out to another person except with the consent of the other person. Most times you have to go to court to just give them order to give you this information. So the Act instills confidence in individuals that their personal data will be handled responsibly by businesses. So imagine there was no law in place. How do you want customers' mind to be at ease that this person will not use my information, will not use my data, will not use my thank God for the law. People can actually trust you. And then there was a time I was going through this. Something just came to mind that when they're about to, you can just put it there at the end, like below it, that we comply with the Nigerian Data Protection Act 2023. Act 2023. Being compliant enhances your reputation as a trustworthy organization, potentially attracting more customers and improving brand loyalty. The second key importance of the Act is that legal compliance. Don't forget, in our previous session, if you've not been watching, please, I would urge you to watch our previous session. So I said legal compliance can either make or mar your business. You need to comply with the law, because most times we are doing, in fact, everything in our checklist, we've done it. One thing that is dragging us back, that is pulling us back from not running that business smoothly, is legal compliance. And I would urge you to comply with the law. So the Data Protection Act ensures that entrepreneurs, business owners, they handle personal data in a lawful and ethical manner. So this includes obtaining consent. Now I told you, if your client is not, or the person you want to gain data from is a minor, then you have to seek the consent of either his or her legal guardian or his or her parents. So you have to implement security measures and properly manage data breaches. So compliance is essential to avoid legal repercussions, and it maintains trust with customers. Customers will trust you better. They want to do business with you. They know how will I put it, their secret is safe with you. Let me just put it like that. The secret is safe with you. So non-compliance with the Nigerian Data Protection Act can lead to severe penalty, either imprisonment or fine. They could, or most times both. They could imprison you and also fine you. We don't want that. It's not better you just obey the law and do the right thing. Obey the law and do the right thing. So business that fail to adhere to the act requirements may face fines, imprisonment, or both. So adhering to the act will help your business stay in the right side of law, and it will safeguard operation and your reputation. It will not make sense after building that reputation for a long period of time, money, sweat, cost, everything. Then one customer just tell other customers that, can you imagine, my personal data, my personal information was not processed fairly, it was leaked, it was breached, they could even sue you. I don't want that for you. That's why you have us. So do the right thing. Then the other one is trust and customer relationship. I told you, if you do all things possible to put data protection measures in place, then customers will trust you. And then you can also build a relationship with your customers. When customers believe that their personal information is in safe hands, then they are likely to engage with businesses and even provide accurate data. Most people, when you ask them to provide their information, because they want to get that freebie or that offer, their name is not Sisi Pelebe. They will say that is Sisi Pelebe. The mail, maybe it's one of their, maybe they have like 10 mails. They'll just drop one just because they want that particular offer. They are not always being truthful. So imagine you want to send an automated mail now, and she provided the wrong name. Once she sees it, who is this person? Like, make sure that you put all measures in place so that customers can trust business owners, they can trust entrepreneurs, and then customers will want to provide their accurate data, and they also develop long-term relationship with you. So being compliant enhances your reputation as a trustworthy organization, body, company, and it attracts more customers, and it also improves your brand loyalty. Like, is it not nice to do the right thing? Do the right thing today. So the fourth key importance of the act to business owners is that data breach prevention. So the act is actually kept in place to prevent breach. Imagine there was no act in place or there was no law in place. Of course, everybody will be breaching that. We know that this thing we are doing is not right. It's just that there is no law. And the good thing about this act is that not just the law, it also provides for a regulatory body. So there are some laws that we have the law, but there's nobody to regulate it. But this one, we have the law, we have the regulatory body. So make sure you're doing the right thing, because you know what I mean. So by following these guidelines, your business, it can reduce risk of data breaches. It will preserve your own and your customers' sensitive information. So the act mandates businesses to implement appropriate security means to protect personal data from unauthorized access, loss, or destruction. If once you have clients' information or a database, or how will I put it, mail list. Most people have mail lists. They will tell you that if you call client, they don't pick, so they have a mail list. They'll just be sending automated mails to them. Of course, they give you consent to send mails. If they don't want that anymore, they can unsubscribe. Most people can also unsubscribe from that particular mail or message they've been getting, or they will send a message that I would not like to. There was a time I got a message, a broadcast message. This person keeps sending me messages. I can't take it. I have to message the person that, please, I know it's just for business purposes, but I don't want to get any messages from you, because I already read the first messages. This thing cannot do me any good. I'm not your target audience, so don't send me message. It's to even save him time. Imagine he sends me message thinking maybe one day I'm going to do business with him, I'm going to patronize him or something. I had to tell him, I'm not your target audience, please don't send me a message again. And since then, he stopped sending me messages. And that's what we should do. If you know you don't want, feel free to withdraw your consent if you're a customer. And business owners, once they withdraw their consent, please and please stop sending them mails or sending, don't infringe on their right to privacy, because basically this act it guarantees the right that are provided in the 1999 Constitution. If you remember, that's one of the objectives. So please and please, how will I put it? Do the right thing and obey the law. Then the other importance is global data transfer. So Part 8 of the Act ensures the protection of personal data being transferred out of Nigeria by giving conditions to be fulfilled before such transfers can be made. So there are conditions. No, there are, how will I put it? There are companies. It is particularly important for there are companies that operate globally or they have partnership with international organizations. So you have to adhere to this Act requirement so to ensure that data flows are governed by recognized data protection principles. Then data-driven strategies. So when you comply with the data principles or the data regulation, you are encouraged to adopt robust data governance practices, so to help you organize, analyze, and protect the data you collect, enabling you to make informed business decisions and develop effective data-driven strategies. When you have the how will I put it? When you have access to other people's data or personal data, if it's not for household or personal data, then this is where the Nigerian Data Protection Act applies. Then you need to treat it fairly, lawfully. It is what you specified during when you were collecting that data is what you should use their mail for. It could, of course, it's a strategy. Collecting and analyzing data is a strategy business owners use, but you have to utilize it properly. It will help you organize and it will help you analyze and also protect data. Then cross-border data transfer. I said globally. So the Act recognizes the importance of international data transfer. So it is not only transfers within Nigeria. The Act recognizes transfer of data internationally. So since businesses operate global, compliance with the Act facilitates cross-border data transfers while providing adequate security measures, and it also protects the privacy of individuals' data when it is being transferred outside of Nigeria. So when it is being transferred, they make sure that there is no breach being occurred, like no breach is being occurred. When you are trying to send or transfer the document and the personal data to your partner abroad or to your other branch abroad, you comply with all the laws or the principles in place that is being provided by the Nigerian Data Protection Act. Legal clarity and protection. So the Act also provides legal clarity and protection. Once people already know that they are protected, then of course they are free to do anything and whatever they want to do. So the Act provides for a legal framework and also bodies. So entrepreneurs should follow it. So it outlines the rights, our right, of course, and obligations of both individuals and organizations, and it also reduces ambiguity and potential legal disputes related to data protection. Overall, because please let me come again. Initially, the key importance I listed, and it is not limited to this, but because of time, I'll be limiting myself to this. So overall, the Nigerian Data Protection Act plays a crucial role in promoting responsible data handling practices among businesses or business owners in Nigeria. Even you as a business owner, once you know that there's a law that regulates these things, you would act accordingly because there's a law in place. Compliance with this legislation or this law would help you protect the interest of your customers. It will enhance your business reputation and also foster a secure digital environment for economic growth and innovation. So to fully benefit, if you want to fully benefit from this Nigerian Data Protection Act 2023, I would advise you to familiarize yourself with it, with the provisions, and also ensure you comply, and then you implement the protection mechanisms that was stated. I hope to see you same time next week. Thank you for joining us.